Hey guys, this is Astral and I'm welcoming you to a new deck profile on Devpro. Okay. Uh in the last recording we did Shaddolls, and this time I feel like doing Astral Chronomalies. So yeah, the only reason I call it Astral Chronomalies is because of Astral Force and because you can go, okay, cool, cast number this. What I don't understand is, why is this a dark attribute? I thought it was light. This is light. Is that like a new armor? Whatever. Let's just get on to the deck profile itself. Okay, well, basically, I shouldn't have to like explain myself again with this, but just think of this deck as exactly the same as the deck profile that I did while I was like going along the way making the deck. It was Trey-Cointon. So think of it like that, but focusing more on Astral Force. I think this can only add Argent Chaos Force. Yeah, you can only add one Argent Chaos Force, so that's kind of bad, but this can add itself back to your hand. So essentially you could have like two rank up magics in your hand, this and then this, but you can only use this to rank stuff up during the turn you add it to your hand. So it's more negative than positive, but it does rank up, so you can potentially get out a Dyson Spear due to having this out. So 2 Aztec Mask Golems, kind of simple. During the turn you have activated, so it doesn't matter what phase it is, except it has to be main phase 1 or 2. So it doesn't matter which 2 phases those are, as long as you activate a Chronomaly spell that turn, you can special summon it from your hand. And then of course you have Devpro as the searcher of the deck. And when you normal summon, you can add 1 Chronomaly card from your deck to your hand. So that means it could be any of these Chronomaly cards except the traps and 4 spells. You can add anything out of these 6. So, and then it could even be any monster you please. So potentially 20 monsters or 6 spells you can add to your hand. You can't add itself, which would be too good, because then you can be next turn normal, okay, cool, search for something else. And then you run 3 Golden Jet, so it's basically the level gainer of the deck. And you kind of have to run 3, but you don't have to. But it's pretty good in case you want to go for like rank 5, 19 if you wanted to. So then you can be like, okay, cool, effect of this, special special like 3 Moais. So you have like 4 monsters, so you potentially get 2 level 5s, but I only run, well actually no, I run 3 level 5s. Or 3 rank 5s. I run 2 33 and 1 19. Of course, if this is active, I can't special summon this. So that's why I prefer to use this while this is like activate after this has already been summoned. And then you have 2 Guardian because of field, or any field for that matter. You could have it, the opponent could have it out, doesn't matter who has it out. 3 Moai, just because if you have a Chronomaly monster, including itself, you can special summon it. 3 Monolith, well actually I don't think I actually went over the rest of this card. If this card is in your graveyard, you control, and all monsters you control are Chronomaly monsters, minimum 1, you can special summon this card in defense position from your graveyard. You cannot activate cards or effects in turn you activate this effect, except Chronomaly cards and effects. You can only use the effect. You can only use 1 Chronomaly Never Dis effect per turn, and only once that turn. So if I have both in the grave, I can only special summon 1 of these. That means I have to wait 1 turn to special summon the other. Monolith does the same thing, except it makes the levels of all 1 Chronomaly monster to 6, excluding Xyz because they cannot become levels. So yeah, 3 bones it's basically like a Cyber Dragon plus a Reviver, or another monster you want to bring out. Skull is also a searcher if you don't have this in your hand, but you have a Chronomaly monster on your field, so you discard this, add it to hand. And you can only use 1 per turn, so you can't add itself, and you can't use another one that turn. and then you have one Gordian knot just in case you don't have everything else. Like you can't really, you don't have this in your, well you do have it, but let's just say you don't have bones. Let's just say you have this in your hand. Of course, the chance that you actually drawing this is 1 to 42. Because, well, 1 to 42 because that includes itself. I'm not 100% sure how probability works. Would it be 1 to 41 because you can't count itself? I don't know. Anyway, technology. 2 of these because I can? No, seriously. You can target one Chronomaly monster. It's basically like the field spell, but I would suggest using it on either these, or this. Most likely the skulls or the Gordian knot, because you're never going to use them ever again, unless you felt like bringing out a rank 3 by banishing this and special summoning this, and then going, okay, cool, special. Okay, you get the point. So you can only use one I don't... Oh, you can only activate one per turn. Okay, I thought it was like, okay, cool, activate. No, you can only use it once. I feel like most of the Chronomaly stuff has more negative effects than positive. That's probably why none of them were banned. Except for maybe this. All it is all Chronomaly monsters gain 800 attack. That's it. Field spell. Once per turn, you can banish one Chronomaly monster. So that means you can go, okay, banish, bring this back. Number disc, revive itself. Or you can just be banish mask, bring this back. Or what you could do is do this. Special this from hand, bring this from the grave, special that. So you potentially have, and you have 2 of these active. I would suggest leaving these alone, and since these are going to be going into defense mode anyway, you might as well just use that on that, and then you can bring out another 6, yada yada yada. Astral Force, like I said, reason to bring this out, or to go Astral Force on this to this, or Astral Force to this, and an Astral Force into this, and then you would obviously, or what you could do is Astral Force the 36 into the Atlantis, and then go Argent. Actually, no. Can you go Argent? Yeah, you can. It just says during the draw phase you can only activate it instead of anything else. So let's just say you didn't use any of these other cards. Like, let's just say you go for a number 36 due to this plus like any of these other level 4s. So then you could potentially go straight into a Chaos Dyson Spear on turn 1. Well, technically turn 2. Well, actually no, turn 1. You can go to a Chaos Dyson Spear turn 1. How, you may ask? Simple. You use this to bring out this. And then you wouldn't use the effect to increase levels. You would just normal summon another, like any of these, like Nebra Disc or another Golden Jet. You overlay the Golden Jets. Well, obviously you put that in defense. They have a powerful monster. You bring out this. You activate Astral Force to bring out Atlantis. You Argent into Chaos. I think you can use more than one Astral Force per turn. Okay, yeah, you can use more than one. So let's just say your hand is some, well, I can't really physically show you, but it would be something like your hand would have this plus like 2 of these plus these 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then let's just say you're going to say you draw this. So it's a slight irregular chance that it would happen, but let's just say that was your hand. You had a Crystal Bones and 2 Golden Jets, or any level 4 monster. Doesn't really matter. Generic level 4. You Argent into this. You activate the second one to bring out Dyson Spear. The Argent Chaos Forces effect activates, adding itself back to its hand, and then you bring out Chaos Dyson Spear. So yeah, interesting combo. And an Argent Chaos Force can rank up a rank 5 or higher Xyz monster into a Chaos number or Chaos Xyz. blah blah blah, special summon counts as exceed summon, yada yada yada. And then if you special summon a rank 5 or higher monster, you can add this card from your graveyard back to your hand. You can only use that effect once per duel. Marshalling Field, for obvious reasons, let's just say you do not have the hand I showed you, and well, you do have something similar, but it would be something like Never Disc effect at Golden Jet, and then you would set this plus maybe like one of these things, and then you would wait. If the opponent doesn't do anything, you just do it on your standby phase. You activate this or main phase or whatever, and then you use the effect of this to increase this and this to level 5. You bring it to 9, and then you Argent into Chaos Dyson Spear. But if you did have the hand like any generic level 4 plus Bones plus these 3 cards, you could potentially get, let's just say, well, I'm not really going to show the hand, but let's just say the thing I showed you was your hand. Sorry, I'm on my phone. I should be recording, but I'm not. So please excuse the interruptions. Like, nope, don't want to excuse it. Well, and you have Call for obvious reasons, but this not only can it increase the levels of level 5 or higher machine monsters between 5 and 9, if it's ever sent to the graveyard. If a machine type monster will be destroyed, you can send it to the graveyard, or when it's ever sent to the graveyard generically, it has to be from the field to the graveyard. So it can't be the like, okay, cool, discard effect. No. It had to be MST'd or something. Then you get the effect. You would add any of these 2 back to your hand. But it would be better if you did it like after it was sent to the graveyard, like you added it and then you use its effect to add itself back when you special summon like Dyson Spear. Any of these rank 5s or higher, so like Dyson, Machimek, Freezadon, Chaos Atlantis, or Dyson Spear, or Chaos Dyson Spear, you can add it back to your hand, and then when it's sent to the graveyard for the second time, or third, depending if it was sent to the graveyard by technology, you can add it back with any of these 3. So if both of these were already used, use their effect once per duel thing, you can just add it back. Like, technically you can use rank up magic, at least these Argent Chaos Forces, you can use them a total of 6 times, because 1, okay cool, bring it back, so that's 2, 3, 4, okay 5, and then 6. And then Call to revive stuff, Mirror Force to defend yourself, and then these to special summon if any Chronomaly monster, excluding the Dysons, and the Freezadon. If any of these Xyz monsters or regular monsters are ever destroyed by a battle or by card effect and sent to the graveyard, except during the damage. Oh wait, never mind. Oh yeah, it doesn't say except during the damage. So if it's destroyed by battle by card effect, the good thing is to chain it with itself, so you can get 2 monsters for the price of 1, so you get a plus while the opponent gets nothing. And then extra deck, generic, obviously, Atlantis. If there's ever a number in your grave, since pretty much all the Xyz monsters you're going to be using in a Chronomaly deck are going to be numbers, you most likely want to like have them purposely be destroyed, like let this die, and then equip it with Atlantis to give it an extra 1,000. Or you could go to Chaos Atlantis and then equip a number from the opponent's field to it, and then next turn you can make their opponent's life points 100, and then on the next turn you can just potentially finish them off with Chaos Dyson Spear, if Chaos Dyson Spear lives that long. Which it most likely will, because Marshalling Field protects it. I don't think it's a once per turn thing. So that means you could potentially have this die, like, let... So you could potentially, like, if one of the face-up ones go away, like, you have, like, another one set. So you don't want the Chaos Atlantis or the Chaos Dyson Spear or any of these machine-type monsters going away. You can send to the grave to add this back. So then that's how you would keep Chaos Dyson Spear alive long enough for you to use its effect on the next turn. and then you can finish them off. Because there's nothing they can do. They can't, unless they like Rainbow Life your effect, which is highly unlikely. You pretty much have victory, like after what, 2 turns? I'm trying to think. If the hand happened where you had like any generic level 4 plus bones plus these 3 cards. I'm trying to think how many overlay units. Well, you would have 2 from this. Number 6 would have 3. Chaos Atlantis would have 4. Dyson would have 5. Okay, 6. 6 on turn 1. If that was your hand, you could potentially inflict 5,600 at a single turn. Now the question is, would you want to do that? You'd probably want to weaken them down after, so you could potentially defeat them with Chaos Dyson Spear alone, plus this if this was your 6th card. So then you would have protection, and then you could essentially finish them off after 2 turns. So it's a 2-turn kill. Yeah, that is a thing. The OTK is with Machimek and this, but I'm not going to get into combos. I guess I did, but I mean, you kind of get the point why it's called Astral Chronomalies, because Astral Force, and you can Astral Force this into this, or this into this, or this into this, and then, well, actually, if you had like, well, actually no, is there any rank 8 light attribute machines? I don't know, and if there are, you can Astral Force into Chaos Dyson Spear. But I don't think there are any rank 8 light machine type monsters. I know there's a rank 8 light dragon monster, which is the Helio Overlord Dragon whatnot. So yeah, that's the end of that. So I'll see you guys in the next deck profile.